welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So first question, this is the first event where it's not an all English team. Lee, how are you guys going to perform this week with the Swede?
Well, I don't know how we're going to perform, but certainly Henrik is a valuable addition to the team. Looking forward to seeing him play this week as captain. You know, he's got me to answer to, so yeah, it should be exciting. You know, it's a fantastic venue, brilliant golf course, and really looking forward to playing here at Bedminster and seeing the team perform well and hopefully getting on the podium.
Awesome. Henrik, what are you most excited about this week, with your first week with LIV?
Yeah, being back with some of my old friends and new.
You?
Yeah, I mean, I played golf with these guys for 20 plus years, so to be teaming up with them here this week, it's something I look forward to, and we always had a lot of fun together, and I would imagine that will continue.
Awesome. Ian, Sam, this is now your third tournament playing on a team. How has that changed the dynamic for you guys out there each week?
Well, it's great. I mean, obviously, you know, we get the opportunity, you know, to have been able to have done that over, you know, 2-year periods, but to do it every week that you pitch up and play adds a new dynamic to coming out, you know, week in, week out. It's an opportunity for us not to just play single golf, be a good group of individuals that can be a strong team. And, you know, as the teams now are starting to strengthen, we're going to have to up our game to, you know, to make sure we factor week in, week out. It's a great format. We all love team golf, and it's something we're super excited about.
Sam?
Yeah, you know, for me, it's very, very similar to playing college golf. You know, I find myself on Sunday looking up at the leaderboard and rooting for your teammates and wanting them to play well. And, you know, you're out there grinding every shot to try and do well for the boys. So, yeah, just try and do that.
Awesome. Mike, over to you.
Yeah. Henrik, I was wondering, what did you see in the first two events, and what kind of discussions did you have with the players that may have swayed your decision to join LIV?
Well, I think one of the big benefits that we talk about here is just like yesterday practice round, the four of us played together. It gives just a different dynamic, really, and team aspect is obviously a big part of that. And like Sam said, you're playing individually. I mean, it's individual golf tournaments, but it's also that kind of fight to try and perform for the team, and you can be out there on the last day. We've seen that already happen, that players might not have the best week individually, but you can make a huge difference for the team if you go out on the final day and shoot a good number, and that could really help out a team. So it's always something to play for in that sense, and yeah, it just feels good to be part of that environment.
Great. Mark?
Lee, did you and Henrik have some discussions about, you know, coming onto the team in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, we've had discussions, and you know, once Henrik became available, you know, he seemed like a good fit for the team. So it wasn't a difficult decision.
Great. Just please state your name and what outlet you're with before asking a question. Mark?
This initially directed to Henrik, Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. As you mulled coming over here, what was the weighing regarding Ryder Cup captaincy? Were you immediately aware that you were giving that up? And, you know, it doesn't seem like a very good look, obviously, if you knew you were going to give that up. And how soon did you? Were you mulling this stuff when you were in your captaincy? When you were given captaincy in March?
Well, I mean, I don't feel like I've given it up. I made every arrangement possible here to be able to fulfill my captain's duties, and I've had great help here from LIV to be able to do that. And still, the decision was made that I was to be removed, and I'm obviously disappointed over the situation. But it is what it is, and yeah, we move on from there now.
Did you speak to them, the Ryder, the powers at the Ryder Cup on your side, on your end, prior to making this decision? Did they tell you you'd be stripped of your duties?
Sorry, say again.
Before you signed on here, did you speak to European Ryder Cup side, and were you aware that you would be stripped of your duties if you came here?
We had discussions, and I informed them of the decision to go and play in LIV tournaments, and they had a short period of time where they were kind of discussing or debating what was going to happen, and I was informed of their decision shortly after.
And if I could just ask as a follow for Lee and Ian, both of you guys have made such a career of the Ryder Cup. Obviously, Ian, you've probably built most of your reputation in that. Can you address kind of where European Ryder Cup, the state of it is right now, with so many of you guys over here, and obviously them taking their side on this?
Yeah, I mean, we're not sure right now where the qualification criteria sits. I believe we're still eligible to play. No decision has officially been made as far as I'm aware. I think the criteria is in 3 weeks' time we start qualifying, but yet we still don't have a definite answer to what that's going to actually look like. So we haven't been given that level of information yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still eligible to play on the European Tour. I don't think, I've been banned from playing any events. The PGA Championship is still my next event on the European Tour at Wentworth. I've had no correspondence on that. That is an event, a qualifying event for the European Ryder Cup team. So, no decision's been made on qualification for the team, and my future or any of our futures playing the European Tour. So that leads me to believe that, we're still eligible to play in it, unless you can tell me otherwise. I would hope that the European Tour would make a decision sooner rather than later. It's only fair for everybody, whether they play on the LIV Tour or, on the European Tour, or on the European Tour and the PGA Tour, to know where they stand as soon as possible, yeah.
Blake Weber here from Country Club Adjacent. This question is for Ian. How many strokes do you gain per round by wearing plaid pants? And can you break 80 in khakis?
I hope you like the outfits because, I love that too. Strokes per round. Sometimes they add to that pressure, and sometimes it makes me perform better. Some would say otherwise. I have worn a few rascal outfits through the years, which have put me under too much pressure, but that sometimes is a good thing.
Right on. I'm a big fan.
Thanks. And khaki, I don't generally wear khaki, no.
Tyler Laletta, Insider. I was wondering if you guys could give some clarification on when Henrik was added to the roster and who made that decision. Is that a team decision or a LIV decision? When did you become aware that he was available, and who made the call to swap Henrik on for Laurie?
Well, it's extremely recent, and Henrik is a fantastic addition to this team. As he said, we've played for 20 plus years together, and as soon as Henrik made himself available, he was a great asset to this Majestics team.
I feel the pressure to make birdies now.
Question, Griff Pippen from Country Club Adjacent. Question for Henrik. You have won Swedish Golfer 5 times, Swedish Golfer of the Year 5 times. Because of that, do you think you could help get IKEA as a sponsor for LIV, and could you give me some free furniture?
I'll give you as much furniture as you need if you put it together.
Deal.
Go ahead, Brian.
Question for Henrik. Brian Wacker, New York Post. Your statement that you'd made about joining LIV obviously was very long. How much was the financial component an element of it, and was that the main driver behind it, I guess?
I mean, I'd say I've been a golf professional since very late 1998, and purse sizes, prize money on offer, financial parts always been a part of where we made up our schedules and where we're going to play, and it's been a part of it, absolutely. So there was no different in this case.
Hi, Stenson. Dan Matthews, Daily Mail. I know you're still hopeful of playing in the Ryder Cup and you're not sure what the future holds, but I just wondered, in the days since your decision, whether you regret or you've got any feeling on kind of what your decision has caused in terms of the uncertainty about the Ryder Cup and the conversations that it sparked about its future.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously feel like it's a shame that we ended up in this situation, and I just hope that we can get to a resolution or a solution as soon as possible here for all tours and everyone involved, and we can all kind of coexist together, and yeah, I mean, all the players love the Ryder Cup and President's Cup, and it's just a shame we ended up in this situation. I hope for a quick solution.
A lot of people will inevitably put the blame at your feet, fairly or unfairly in your mind, but who do you blame for this current situation that we find ourselves in with the uncertainty?
Well, I mean, I'm not really here to sit and put blame on anyone. I think it's more interesting to find a solution and moving forward rather than dwelling too much on why we ended up in this situation.
Ian and Lee, I wanted to ask about yesterday's announcement by LIV for 2023, 14 tournaments, franchises instead of teams. What was your reaction?
Yeah, it's an exciting development. Obviously, it's nice to have everything rolling into a league starting next year earlier than anticipated. It's fresh. It's new to golf. I personally think it's something that golf needed. Outside the major championships and the heritage tournaments and the team events, i.e. Ryder Cup and President's Cup. Outside of those, I think golf needs something different, and obviously I'm sat here, so I'm all for it. It's a fresh new idea, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to seeing something different.
Yeah, the franchise opportunity to see 12 teams move into their positions for 2023, 14 events, global schedule, big prize funds, is something that obviously has been fast-tracked with everybody taking their positions. And it's extremely exciting, the bigger picture of golf, and the addition of 14 events into the global schedule that we have is something that I feel can fit in with all the other tours. So, the landscape in golf is looking good.
Great. Anyone else?
Hey, Jake Adams from Country Club Adjacent. This one's for you, Lee. I noticed that your wife is caddying for you sometimes. If you have a bad round, are you sleeping on the couch, or do you have to get a separate hotel room?
Well, I snore quite a bit, so sometimes the golf isn't even an issue as to where we sleep. But no, once the golf's over and done with that day, we don't take it home.
That's very mature.
Thanks. I'm mature. I'm nearly 50.
Ryan? Great. Anyone else? Awesome. Great. Thank you guys so
Thanks.
much, and welcome,
Thank you.
Henrik, to LIV.
Thanks.